Conor McGregor announced his retirement from the MMA on Twitter. Is he really done fighting?
No. Conor McGregor is not done fighting. In fact, I think he's going to fight UFC again, and I think he's going to box again. Because for whatever reason, actually, it's not for whatever reason, it's just common sense. Now HBO doesn't really do much with boxing anymore. ESPN signed a huge contract, and they have all these boxers transferred over. So there's not going to be as much pay-per-view, so there's not going to be as much money in boxing, but there's definitely still money in boxing. And there's definitely still money in UFC. Obviously, we saw Conor McGregor triple his net worth. Triple. Times 3 with the Floyd Mayweather fight, in which I believe was August of 2017. Yeah, so August of 2017. This man tripled his net worth by going 10 rounds in a sport which isn't nearly as physical or as really truly damaging to your body as the UFC is. Don't get me wrong, definitely still very damaging, definitely still requires a lot of energy and stamina, but didn't really damage as much as the UFC. He tripled his net worth doing that. So he'll definitely box again. And as for the UFC, if you follow Conor McGregor on Instagram, and this is what Dana White said the other day, I believe on either Get Up ESPN or Mike and Mike.
Or Listen Up on the sideline.
Yeah, Listen Up
it might
on
have
the
been
sideline.
that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. He was saying something along the lines of, if you follow Conor McGregor on Instagram, you know how passionate he is about the fight game. Every day, working out, training, lifting weights, and he got embarrassed by Khabib Nurmagomedov this past October. And I think he really wants to avenge that. Because
that whole match was embarrassing, start to finish.
Start to finish, from the post-fight antics to everything that went on during the fight. It was an embarrassing moment for Conor McGregor. And even Khabib Nurmagomedov, his victory was definitely stained with what he did after the fight. And McGregor has done too much in his career. He knocked Jose Aldo, who is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He took him 13 seconds. So he is someone who right now is in the top, definitely the biggest name brand in the sport of mixed martial arts. Probably a top 2 or 3 fighter right now in the sport of mixed martial arts. Obviously, you have to put Khabib better than him now because McGregor was at the top and Khabib just absolutely annihilated him, even if it was on the ground. But I think McGregor's going to come back and avenge his defeat.
Here's what I'm going to say. Conor McGregor, up until he fought Floyd Mayweather, was a name, right? You said that fight tripled his net worth. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, Conor McGregor is a brand. Now he's a whole brand. He's not just an MMA fighter. He could go back to UFC. He's been in the boxing ring, whatever you want to call it. He has his whiskey now. He's an entire brand in himself.
Proper 12.
And we've actually seen McGregor's tried to kind of fake this retirement before to buy into the hype. This, I think, is just another tactic to get people to buy in and to kind of follow him on this new journey. You know, he's making all this money from the whiskey, and he says he's done fighting. He's made enough money, all this. But the truth is, he's a guy that loves the spotlight. He wants all the cameras on him. He wants everybody's attention. So all this is a little retirement stunt. So then in a year or so, he could come back and have a rematch with Mayweather or Khabib or whatever people are calling for. And this is just to build up the hype and build up the excitement and anticipation in people, just to, you know, build up his brand even more and to kind of, you know, hype up so he could eventually make more money when he comes back from this so-called retirement.
I 100% agree. You couldn't have said it any better. Obviously, he's making money with the Proper 12 Irish whiskey, but he knows what he's doing. He's obviously an excellent businessman, as we basically saw with his decision to fight Floyd Mayweather. So, and he really is passionate about it, and Khabib too. So I think he's going to come back and avenge his defeat.
And a lot of people saying he retired because of these new sexual assault allegations, but what do those mean to a man like him? Like, that has no effect. I know you want to say that's why he retired and he's trying to get out of the spotlight. This man can't live without the cameras on him. Yeah. This is all just a new hype train that he wants to get moving to build out his brand furthermore.
I believe it was on Barstool Sports on Instagram, but I think 2 weeks ago when those allegations came out of him, was it breaking someone's phone in Miami?
Yeah. Yep.
He was seen running over a bridge in like Bal Harbor at like 3 a.m.
Because he's just so self-obsessed.
Yeah.
So he can't retire and move out of the spotlight because his personality and ego just won't let him do that.
Correct.